بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome all of you wherever you are, and welcome you again with the fourth lecture of the explanation of Surah Al-Hadeed. Allah said, who's gonna give a loan to Allah, and Allah will multiply it to him, and he has a great reward and a dignified reward. Who's gonna give Allah a loan? It was narrated that Umar ibn al-Khattab that said, it is the spending in the sake of Allah in general, and also the spending on the family. And to spend on the family is not an easy issue, like a lot of people take it for granted. In the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that Abu Hurairah, peace be upon him, may Allah be pleased with him, says that the Prophet ﷺ said, one dinar that you spend in the sake of Allah, and one you spend it in freeing a slave, and one that you give a charity on the needy, and one that you have spent on your family, the greatest reward, the one that you spend on your family. Another hadith, the best dinar is the one that you spend on your family. A man could spend it on his his animal for the sake of Allah, and one for, and Abu Qilaba said, the first one is on the family, the other one the sake of Allah, and one for a needy. He said, who is better than he is spending on little kids, and Allah will benefit him with them. It is a general ayah. So it is really in the general, who is going to spend in the sake of Allah, and Allah will multiply it for him, and he has a dignified status. It is a great reward. It is a good sustenance. It's a status with Allah, who is capable of everything. And in the hadith, Allah Azza wa Jal come to the lively word in the last 1/3, and he says, who is calling me so I could answer him, or will ask me, and I'll give him. Then he will extend his hand. He said, who is going to give to someone who is not poor and is not incapable of satisfying? Allah Azza wa Jal is not poor. Allah is the rich. He has the ownership of heavens and earth, and he is not a transgressor, and he will not do anything wrong. And he is the one who said in the tongue of his Prophet ﷺ that the delaying of the rich person to pay back what is due to him is an aggression, and Allah is not among those, without a doubt. So Al-Bahbah al-Ansari said, Allah needs a loan from us. He said, yes, Abu Dahdah. He said, give me your hand, Prophet. So he gave it to him. He said, I gave my Lord alone my garden. It has 600 palm trees, and Dahdah in it, and his kids. So Abu Dahdah called her Dahdah. She said, yes. He said, get out. I gave it to Allah. And she said to him, indeed it is profitable your sale of Bahbah. In return, the Prophet ﷺ said, how many beautiful palm trees in the paradise for Abu Dahdah. And they have like gold and all types of jewels. When you see the believers and male and female, their light is going between them. Your glad tidings today is gardens that has rivers that underflows. They're staying in it, and that's the great reward from Allah. Some they have a light, and the Prophet gives different examples on the light of each person. they are different in their shyness. Some are shining more, and some are dimming. It is said that some of the believers they were light from Medina to Aden, which is in Yemen. It's over 1,000 miles, by the way, and more. And some they will only light underneath their feet. And in the Hadith, I'm the first one who will be permitted to prostrate to Allah, and the one to raise his head, and I will look from around me on my right and left, and I know my the followers between all the other nations. They ask him, how would you know them between Nuh until this time? He said, I know them. They are, they have signs because of their wudu, and no nation has this kind of character. I know them from their character and their faces and their light that is going between their hands. So when you see the believers, males and females, their light is wide on the sirat and the straight path, and they will have the glad dotting. Today going to enter wide paradise that the rivers are the flow from underneath. You will not leave it ever. That is the great reward. Yes, this will be at the day of judgment. If the sun is covered, meaning surrounded, and the moon eclipsed, that's when you see the believers. You'll find that their light is flowing between them because of their faith. They will all depends on their faith, and they could see because of their light, and they will be getting the glad tidings from the angel that they have the glad tidings to enter paradise, and the rivers underflow from underneath. And this is the great win. When the hypocrites they will say, "Let us take, use your light," they will be told, "Go back and get your own light." So they were separated by a door or a gate. This is a telling from Allah Azza wa Jal about what happened in the Day of Judgment, from the great test and the major things that's going to happen. No one will survive except those who believed in Allah and the hereafter and came with a great heart. A safe one, a safe one. And the hypocrites and the disbelievers, their light is not there anymore. So they will ask the believers, "Let us stay, hold on, so we could learn and go from your light, so we could survive, so we'll survive the punishment." They will be told, go back and get some light." And that's because it's impossible. And they will be separating between the believers and the hypocrites and disbelievers with a wall, a separator that has a gate. From the side of the Muslims is mercy, from the hypocrites is punishment. Salim ibn Amr says, we went in a funeral in Damascus, and we have Abu Umam al-Bahi, and when he prayed on the janazah, and they buried it, Abu Bakr said, "O people, you have woke up and not in a place where you are dividing the deeds, and you're about to leave him for another house," meaning you're gonna take that deceased person to the place that is tight, and that's where the worms and dark, and then you're going to move him to different places and their judgment. In some of these areas, people will be getting from Allah, and you'll have different faces, light and dark, and then he will go with different status, where the light is given to the believers, and the hypocrites and the disbelievers don't get no light. So they will not see where to go. They will not benefit from the light of the believers. And the hypocrites, they will say to those who believe, please wait, let's use your light. They will be told, go back and try to get some light. It is the trick that Allah will trick the hypocrites. They are trying to trick Allah, and He's going to trick them. So they will go back to the area where the light was given, and they will find that there is nothing but a fence where the one side it has mercy, the other side has punishment. Yes, the hypocrites, they are trying to deceive Allah and His Messenger and those who believe, and they are only deceiving themselves, and they are not aware of it. The hypocrites, they are thinking that they are tricking Allah and the people, the believers, but they are only deceiving themselves. And Ibn Abbas says, while people are in darkness, Allah will send a light. So when the believers saw the light, they went toward it. And it was indication from Allah to paradise. When the hypocrites saw the believers went, they wanted to follow them. So Allah put darkness on the hypocrites. So they asked the believers to slow down, to wait for them. The believers will say, go back wherever you came of the darkness, and then try to find that light at that time. It was narrated that some of the narrators that what is meant with this fence is the fence of the Jerusalem, and the other one there's the valley of hellfire. If they meant an example for to make it easy, it can be understood that way. Indeed, the heaven and the heavens and paradise in heavens, and it's the high, and the hellfire in the bottom of everything. So it's not be can't be that fence in Jerusalem. It is a fence that's going to separate the believers from the disbelievers, from the hypocrites. So only the hypocrite stays, and they are confused, don't know where to go, just like they were in this life, in disbelief and ignorance and doubt. So they will call them, didn't we be with you? Weren't we praying with you? Didn't we go to prayers with you? And we witnessed all the other issues. Didn't we stay with you? The hypocrites, they looked like they are with the believers. They said, yes, yes, you were. But you tricked yourself. You got afflicted with the luxuries of life, and you denied that the hypocrites, they used to be alive with with the believers, and they lived with them, but they are dead, and they will all give light at the day of judgment, but their light will be distinguished the hypocrite when they reach the fence. And there's nothing you could spend to save yourself from the punishment of the hereafter. And the hellfire is the most prior for you as a punishment, that's because of your disbelief and what you did. Yes, those who disbelieve and they died as disbelievers, they will not be accepted from any of them. The earth full of gold, even if they tried, they have great punishment from Allah. And for those who transgress, if they have everything on earth and just like it also, they will try to give it away to free themselves, and they say from Allah what they did not expect. Those who disbelieve, if they have everything on earth and wants like it to free themselves from the punishment of the judgment, it will not be accepted from them, and they have severe punishment. You could save yourself from a little bit of date, and tomorrow there is nothing, no gold, and even if it is full of the earth of gold, the ownership of that day to Allah. Allah still to the worst, the least people of punishment. If you have everything in earth, would you give it away? He will say yes. He said, I can ask you for something that is lighter than that. When you were in the back of Adam, not to associate no partners with me, and you insisted of putting partners with me. When Allah wiped the back of Adam and took everything He's going to create until the day of judgment, and He took them, bear witness, and talked to them, aren't your Lord? They said, yes, we bear witness. He said, you said the day of judgment that we were unaware of it, or to say that our forefathers has committed shirk, are you going to destroy us all? Even with that, Allah's mercy with His creations, that He do not put you accountable because of the first covenant, nor the nature, because everybody is born on nature, but their fathers, their parents, they either make him Jew, Christian, or whatever. But He put him accountable because according to the laws or what He sent with the messengers or the prophets. Every time a group is thrown in the hellfire, the guardians of it, they will say, didn't you have a warning? They said, yes, we did, but we denied. We said that Allah did not send anything. You are only in big stray. And they say, if we could hear or understand or comprehend, we will not be among the people of the hellfire. So they admit their sin, and destruction is for the people of hellfire. So everybody who entered the hellfire, he will not enter until he admit that he deserved the hellfire. Allah does not punish his creations except of what they did. They said, oh Allah, if you just sent a messenger so we could follow your signs before we are humiliated. We stop here today, inshallah. We'll continue next time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.